Hey, this is Jamie McShann. I'm back here again at Pinball's Arcade in Austin, Texas, taking some final measurements on my latest quarter scale project, the Space Invaders Deluxe from Midway. Before we take a look at that custom Space Invaders Deluxe build, I wanted to show off another custom quarter scale build I did, the Row BC 3500 change machine. I was inspired to build this little unit from the similar 1/6 scale New Wave Toys change machine. And as with their unit, this too is a USB charging station using an off-the-shelf Anchor 6-port charger I found on Amazon. Once again, my friend Alan Greer in the UK helped me model the dollar insert slot and return tray. I then 3D printed them both. It sports a similar vinyl wood grain on the bottom and the painted black sides, and even has a functional temporarily out of service light. The Space Invaders Deluxe, released in 1980 by Midway, was of course a sequel to the ever so popular Space Invaders, released in 1978, and both designed by Tomohiro Nishikado. This game is the American version of Taito's Space Invaders Part 2, which used a joystick to move your man from left to right, where the Deluxe uses buttons. Another fun fact is the Deluxe actually still says Space Invaders Part 2 on the title screen instead of Deluxe. What made this build so challenging was that originally the game used an inverted monochrome monitor. The images displayed are reflected off a two-way mirror, allowing the invaders to seem to float down from a starry orange-blue sky attacking the blue moon base at the bottom. The stars are a cardboard wraparound across the back of the machine, and the moon was a half circle of plexiglass that hid a black light between it and the backdrop. I too used a two-way mirror, a paper starry sky backdrop, and printout of the moon base. I hid white and UV LEDs in the top of the cabinet as well as behind the moon base itself to give just the right amount of light behind the floating aliens. I first started with 4 LEDs and found out that wasn't enough, and tried 5, and then ended up with 6 UV LEDs and then 2 white LEDs. Just as on my Star Wars cabinet build, I again custom modeled in Fusion 360 and 3D printed the Midway coin door with just a little help again from my friend Alan Greer. I then added the fully functional coin drops to use the pressed metal mini quarters via optical sensors, and I modeled up and printed the speaker grill as well. The keys hanging out of the coin door are also 3D printed, and when you press those along with the Player 1 Start button, it will take you back to the custom RetroPie menu to pick from a list of other games to play. Since I wanted to be able to play other games besides Space Invaders Deluxe, I decided to add a second button on the back, allowing the background LEDs to be switched off. The control panel uses 5 3D printed buttons and sub-micro limit switches. It feeds their input into a micro Arduino Leonardo, configured as a USB game controller. The Raspberry Pi sees it as a HID device. The reflective metallic overlay on the control panel was laser printed, and I then added small sewing pins as the rivet heads. As in my other custom builds, this one also runs off of a Raspberry Pi 3A Plus running RetroPie in main. This one has a 640 by 480 5-inch monitor, a 3-watt dual channel amplifier, and 2 1.5-inch speakers. One in the front under the grill and one in the back behind an air vent. It has 2 3500 milliamp LiPo batteries, and for this build I'm trying out the Retro PSU from Helder Game Tech to charge and to provide the needed 5 volts to run everything. And now, how about some gameplay? Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, be sure to give me a thumbs up. And if you want to find out about future quarter scale builds, just be sure to subscribe down below. And if you've got a question, just leave it in the comments. And now here's some progress photos of the build.